Well, it looks like uh, World War III has just begun, and I don't use that term lightly. I'm not a screamer in that way,
Yeah.
you know. This has been going on for a while. I've been following it. I've tracked it, and I was really surprised how fast it's happened. But I've been tracking it for the last few days, and let's go. I'll show you exactly what I've dug up. So on the 17th of November, uh, outgoing US President Joe Biden gave Kiev authorization to use long-range weapons inside Russian territory, going back on his prohibition of such only a month earlier. A month ago, he said, you can use our weapons, but they have to be used within Ukraine.
Yeah.
Now he says you can go. The US supplied Army tactical missile systems will be used to launch the missiles, supposedly on military targets like tank building factories, stockpiles of ammunition, staging posts, and stuff like that within Russia. Why now did Biden change his mind? Or rather, did Biden change his mind?
I think we both know the answer to that one.
Or,
Yeah.
or was it the Pentagon?
Well,
Right, well, let's carry on and then we can start drawing our conclusions, right? Zelensky was pleased to receive the news and said that the decision didn't come soon enough. This was a day later. He said, but strikes are not carried out with words. Such things are not announced. Missiles will speak for themselves.
wonderful.
This is Warhawk Zelensky.
Well,
Putin, for his part, said that if the report is true, it would change the nature of the conflict. He said that such attacks will not be possible without the aid of Western nations. It would mean that NATO countries are directly involved in the military conflict with Russia. And so Putin, for a long time, Putin has been saying, look, don't do it, don't do it. Back in the US, Donald Trump Jr., son of President-elect Donald Trump, accused the imbeciles in the Biden administration of promoting World War III. Quote, the military-industrial complex seems to want to make sure they get World War III before my father has a chance to create peace and save lives.
yeah.
He said, got to look at those trillions, life be damned, imbeciles. President-elect Trump has always claimed that he could work a peace settlement between Ukraine and Russia within 24 hours when he takes office. Back in Russia yesterday, on the 18th of November, Maria Zakhanova, Russia Foreign Ministry spokesperson, sorry,
Yeah.
for the wokies out there, reacted to a potential change in the essence of the conflict.
Yeah.
She said Kiev's use of a long-range missile to attack our territory will mean the direct participation of the US and its satellites in hostilities against Russia. In this case, Russia's response will be adequate and tangible. So it's pretty clear. You do that, something bad's going to happen.
Mm.
Excuse me, I've got a bit of a cold.
Yeah. Okay.
But a cold is nothing because we're talking about World War III. So
Well, it's everything to you. Yeah.
priorities.
Yeah.
Where did I get to? Sven von Starch, German politician. He wrote, the deep state and the globalists want to prevent you from taking over the new administration by driving the world into a great war, in a letter he penned to Donald Trump. He goes on, the first step in this direction is that the Biden administration has allowed Ukraine to use America American long-range missiles to attack Russia directly. In doing so, the globalists want to force a hot war between NATO and Russia. A war, end quotes. Sorry, a war that on one hand is intended to prevent the handover of power to you in Washington. So this is a German guy who's got no dog in the fight of the American elections.
Yeah.
Saying what he's like us. Take a step back, have a look in, and it all becomes very clear.
Yeah.
So today, the Ukraine launched the first US rocket on mainland Russia, destroying a stockpile of Russian ammunition and everything that goes with it. It was quite a large blast.
Yeah.
Minutes earlier than this, Russia had reiterated the threat of a nuclear response. So just before this was set off, they said, look, the Russian Federation reserves said, open quotes, the Russian Federation reserves the right to use nuclear weapons in the event of aggressions against it with the use of conventional weapons, close quote, said by the press secretary of the Kremlin. She said that only this morning before the rocket was launched.
Yeah.
So the rocket was launched. The explosion happened. I can't imagine Russia not responding, especially 2 minutes before the rocket was launched. They threatened the West with a nuclear response. They aren't just going to take it on the chin.
No.
And I think to a certain extent, Russia tried to take it on the chin until Trump was in office, so they could sort the situation out. And like the German guy said, and like Donald Trump Jr. said, the Pentagon are doing this to prevent Donald Trump either taking office because Biden could declare a war emergency.
Yeah.
Or he would have absolutely no power once he is in office to try and destroy him.
Yeah.
Domestically in the US, the Democrat supporters are trying to find ways of crashing the economy so that Donald Trump can't be credited of building the economy up.
Yeah.
That's another story. We're talking about the conflict here that could spill over into Europe. If it spills over into mainland Europe, then the favourites to be hit are Germany and the UK.
Yeah.
Germany and the UK, and of course the US. So
it's possible.
It's hunker down, boys. Hide under the bed when it starts to rain metal.
Hot stars.
Thoughts?
Right. My thoughts are, well, when I saw it flash up this morning, I saw you send a text on we've got a group. Yeah, a group of us have got a WhatsApp group. Suddenly Steve puts up World War III starting, and I was doing something else at the time, doing some work, and so I immediately go on a non-regular news site to check the truth, as it were. I'm not promoting any particular one. And well, what is this? This was somewhere under the protest, still underneath the London protests in London today by the farmers. So I find that quite amusing. Yeah. But anyway, this happens with news media. Something comes in, okay. But it's serious. Now, as you said, it was all about Putin taking it on the chin. I suspected that the current US administration would do something. We all know Zelensky's a puppet. Yeah. Or not necessarily Zelensky, the the administration of Ukraine are puppets. I don't think Zelensky's a bad guy in himself. I don't know. You know, I don't know the real Zelensky. I'll be quite honest. I just know he plays the piano with parts of his anatomy. It's a. It's a. Is it serious? I'm going to play it down here. It all depends on how. I mean, yeah, okay. There's two sides to it. Okay, Ukraine, sovereign state, was invaded by Europe. By Ukraine. Freudian slip there, by Ukraine. Physically invaded by Ukraine. By Russia. Sorry, by Russia. And yeah, okay. Rights and wrongs of all that. We've already discussed all this. Yeah. What led up to it, we've already discussed. Yeah. Ambitionist plans, whatever you might think of it. I believe the EU is an imperialistic type organization, be it localized. I also believe that Russia probably have aspirations, certainly for Eastern Europe as well. Never going to end well, was it? Yeah, we had a pro-Russian, a more Russian-leaning administration pre-2014 in Ukraine, which was elected in. I believe it was, yeah, fairly, and even the EU said it was fairly elected in. Yeah,
not really.
Well, really. Okay, yeah, but yeah, pre-2014. What happened after that? Yeah, okay. Eastern Europe being Eastern Europe.
Yeah, well, you just let them go up. You let them get on with it. In fact, it was a colour revolution. What's called a colour revolution in 2014.
Yeah.
And the people weren't satisfied of who was elected. They ousted him. Well, I say the people. I mean the foreign people, the US and Europe, weren't satisfied who got elected. They took him out and put Zelensky in.
Yeah.
That's to simplify it all.
Yeah.
And the parts that were invaded by and since 2014, civil war in Ukraine, because there are certain areas in Ukraine, like Crimea and the Donbass areas, that wanted autonomy, that wanted independence from Ukraine, and they've been battling over this since 2014, since that colour revolution.
Exactly. Yeah.
And Russia just went into Crimea and the Donbass. They didn't go into Ukraine.
No.
So much so that the two regions in the Donbass area, they declared themselves independent. They had a
referendum.
Let me see
really effectively
a referendum on it, and they decided they were independent. But you know, what's in the past is in the past.
Yeah,
I'm more
focused on the future.
To look at now what's happened now.
Yeah, well,
and where we go from here.
Yeah, I mean that's it. But Russia, whatever Putin in his mind had an excuse. Yeah, and this is, as I sort of said, this has been building. Anyone that couldn't see it in 2014 wasn't really paying attention. Yeah, we all got a bit concerned then, but we thought it all died down. Obviously, other events around the world took over. Now, how Putin will respond? Putin is unpredictable. Let's be honest. Trump is unpredictable. Putin is unpredictable. Yeah. You're never quite sure what they're going to do. Putin is the ultimate cold warrior in a way that probably Trump isn't. But yeah, Trump isn't even in the picture yet. I suspected this when Trump won. I wondered what they would be doing to make his, well, one of two things: to make his initial presidency difficult, like you said, crash an economy, if he still makes it there, or to make sure he didn't actually take power. Let's be honest, this is all about power. This is power games all round. This isn't about the likes of you and me on the ground or the Ukrainian people. They are the last consideration. It's probably not even about Zelensky. I mean, I think Zelensky would like it to talk and try and work something out. He knows his country's going to be owned by someone at the end of all this. Yeah, it's either Russia or